Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Spring 2019. Afreeca Freecs continue their winning streak as they take down Hanwha Live Esports. Sandbox, the first one that they managed to take down, and this, being their debut game in the second round robin, is a really nice bounce back from this squad. And they got 2-0'd by Hanwha the first time around, and even if it is a reverse sweep here in this best of three, still an improvement.
Well, that was a lot of text, actually, on that piece of paper that just flipped. I hope that wasn't another
Another
blunder.
whoopsie.
Yeah,
another whoopsie.
I'm pretty sure a freeze frame could have just caught that.
Yeah, I mean, it
so.
did before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, now No Phase copping it. Oh, no!
Oh, my God!
What is this? Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, these...
That's an adorable cat. What does this say? It says, Freecs fighting.
Yeah, so it's the Afreeca Freecs mascot.
That's awesome.
How many teams have mascots? I remember Gamty had that adorable panda.
Oh, what was SK Telecom, or was it KT's? It was like
KT's is a roller coaster.
No. But they're used to, it's like Bundy or something, or like.
That has a different meaning to me.
I don't know what that means, but okay. There was something like that.
It's a rum brand from Australia.
Okay.
Bundy.
All right. Well, Afreeca opening out the gate now. No changes to their roster. So
they're the ones that banned the Vladimir, though, which is very interesting.
Yeah, because they have the first pick available.
And remember, Ezreal was the one that was picked up first here for Hanwha Live Esports last time around. The Galio going to be banned away after the Vlad, so a lot of changes already. And we have to remember, I mean, Olaf was banned in the first round by the Afreeca Freecs. They're going to also ban the Zoe here now that they're on the blue side, and it means that an Ezreal pickup could certainly come in here, but certainly a lot left available as well. Jace is also available. So if Ezreal's banned here, I look at Jace as being one of those opportune picks, but if I was Hanwha, I would ban the Jace first, Ezreal second, because we don't know what to expect really from Sol, and is he one of our ridiculous Ezreal performers? Not entirely sure. They're going to go for the trade instead as Lissandra banned away from Sun.
Well,
okay.
LeBlanc out the gate.
I don't mind this one, as it is going to be locked in for Sun. Okay.
Now you're going to give away Ezreal potentially.
You could go Ezreal Jace, or you could go Urgot Ezreal. You could go Tahm Kench Ezreal.
Yeah, there's a lot of options available. So Ezreal Tahm Kench is definitely one that I would imagine that Hanwha Life should probably be looking to utilize here. Lock it in. Let me see that catfish.
Yeah, give me that catfish.
Let me see his pearly whites.
Key was very good, in the early game especially, avoiding a lot of the engages. Didn't necessarily work out completely, but could have been way worse if he was on any other champion, so I like that one. Took him a while to find it. Come on, guys. What you need to do is use the way of thinking that Flame had, where he insta-locked everything and made sure that the whole team of Damon was insta-locking all their picks, because it puts fear into your opponents. You know, it's like we knew what we were going to be able to get here.
Probably Jace can be locked in here right now. You could actually maybe even go Jace Urgot, and that would be completely fine. You throw the Jace down into the bottom lane.
Is that giving up too much, though? Because you want to have that flexibility. You want to try and hold on to some surprises in the draft, especially
we've had Urgot jungle.
Hey, that's true.
That did end up appearing.
I don't know whether it was good.
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
As Lee Sin is locked in. Now Braum. Now normally that is the support of choice that normally you accompany with the Jace down in bottom, but
also a decent one.
They could go Jace Ezreal. We could keep this trend up tonight.
You mean Jace Urgot? Because Ezreal is hard for anyone to pick now.
Well, no, I mean the team composition.
Oh, right, yeah. I mean, the Jace could just be locked in here, but instead it's Bono picking up his favorite. The Olaf going to be locked in here, and that's going to be the answer to the Lee Sin. Not wanting the jungle pool to be pinched in these last couple of picks, I could imagine, but now you could see the Jace being banned on either side. There's not a lot of priority there. I know you're quivering in your boots here just a little bit, LS, but stay with me, stay with me.
I'm trying to stay calm right here as yet another day has passed where Karthus has not appeared.
I know.
Nonetheless, Silas being...
Stay with me, stay with me.
Silas now being banned away, and if you're looking at the Afreeca team composition, that's not one that wants to utilize Silas, especially not into a counter matchup when the only thing that you're offering it right now is an Olaf ult, an Abyssal Voyage, and an Ezreal ultimate. Those aren't really key ultimates that you think to yourself, hey, I really hope they don't pick Sylas.
Yeah, and the reason Ezreal's ult hits for so much is because it scales off both AD and AP, and you only get one of those scalings if you are the Sylas. So it's not exactly the greatest one to be stealing. Jace finally going to be found and banned away. And look, there's no surprise from any of us after Kiin's 40k damage performance on the top lane Jace. Also 94% kill contribution or something like that. Just despicable. Sion going to be banned here is, okay. Well, I guess Thal gets Urgot. Unless we've hit the Twilight Zone real hard.
Any other champion needing to be picked right now except for Urgot.
Unless, I mean, Urgot can also be flexed to the mid lane.
Please just don't let me see a Sion or something.
No, Sion's banned, so we're fine.
Sion is banned. Oh, yeah. Well, Sion or something.
What?
You know, something like a big tanky. What? Okay.
Oh,
I had a mini heart attack there.
I was going to lose my co-caster if that had been locked in. I was just straight up going to lose him. He was just gone, and I would have been casting by myself, and I get lonely, guys.
No, Afreeca, I think, realizing the error of their ways here.
I mean, why ban Sion unless you're going for a counter pick into the Urgot?
What do you have now, actually, against Urgot? I'm thinking of champions that exist that you would want to pick. I guess Victor's your only option.
I like this a lot more. I like this a lot
Yeah, but the problem here is that you're going to be piloting... Okay. Forgot about that one. For all the right reasons. But it is picked here now by Afreeca as the last pick. And so, yet again, we're sort of seeing similar team compositions, although Hanwha Life, if they do round this out with a Rise, they definitely do have much more skirmish potential against the Afreeca team comp. And with this being the final pick potentially, we're going to have a lot of power in mid, a lot of power up in top, and this is really going to be a heavy influence game of junglers, or that's what you would theorize, around the mid and top lanes. Whereas bottom could just be an island. Instead, actually, Syndra.
Yeah, and Syndra being picked up here I actually think is really important for Hanwha Life Esports, because what it does is it gives them priority in the early game and allows Bono to move into the enemy jungle basically unhindered, right? And we've seen Olaf's actually get out skirmished by Lee Sin if that mid lane matchup is too far in favor of the Lee Sin side. So picking for as much priority in mid, I think makes a lot of sense on a lot more levels than just looking at that 1v1 matchup, right? So I think this is actually really smart coming in for Hanwha Life Esports. So they are going to move the Syndra in there. Last time Tempt played it, it looked abysmal. It just looked terrible. We didn't have a great time watching it at all. Now wants to get some redemption. We'll see what he's going to be able to do on the pick.
And here's the team comp one last time. Aatrox, Lee Sin, LeBlanc, Sivir, and Braum on the side for Afreeca, as they're going to be looking to get really aggressive. They do have the scaling of Sivir as an insurance policy, but that's not what she's mainly being used for in this team comp. They want to go fast, they want to go hard. And then on the flip side, what they will be going up against by Hanwha Life Esports is the Ezreal, Tahm, Kench, Syndra, and we're making our way over there to Olaf, and joined by the Urgot in
It's
top
always
lane.
Urgot hiding. Yep. He's always hiding.
If Syndra gets really, really far ahead, she'll be so oppressive against the enemy team, just being able to press the button and kill them.
Yeah, and also we remember
for
the Syndra versus LeBlanc matchup. We've been seeing it many, many times. Does go very well. Scat of the Week is a pretty decent option into the distortion heading on towards you, so we'll see how it works out as we enter Summoner's Rift for Game 2. Hanwha fans, full voice here for game number 2, desperate to get their money's worth out of their ticket, wanting a whole extra game, like I'm sure all of us are, wanting to get our money's worth here. And I just want more out of Hanwha Life Esports. I want more out of Sangyoon's Ezreal as well, because now, I mean, that win rate's down to 25%, which is pretty terrible on a champion that we've deemed basically busted. Especially in the hands of players like Deft and Teddy. Teddy finding a loss on the champion recently, but Deft showing us that he should never get the pick. Sangyoon using the correct skin as well. This is the skin that Deft also uses.
So far, nothing too chaotic happening, although it does look like Hanwha Life wants to split the map here against the Lee Sin.
ward over there.
And I do think that this ends up being more beneficial for Hanwha Life because the Syndra and the Urgot, if they're able to just do what they want to do, knowing that their jungler is in close proximity, then they're able to have a lot more freedom early on, as bottom lane is a little bit of a cluster.
Yeah, Sangyoon already got a 70 gold packet, so he's feeling real good down here. As Sol's trying to trade back, but getting a whole lot of value.
Ezreal definitely made out ahead in that trade, ever so slightly. Ooh, Dread looking to get frisky.
Oh, this is really cheeky. He can go for a flash Q if he wants to, but the chains miss. He had to show himself because otherwise that gank wasn't going to work. But Sun, you needed to hit them chains, boy.
What this is going to end up meaning is that Olaf gets a slight advantage here over the Lee Sin as Dread looks to path onto the right-hand side of the map, but the problem with this is now Bono can simply just go into the wolf camp and create a Bambi. Just leave one of those small little ones remaining, and that's really going to stunt the rubber band camps for Dread.
And now I'm stunned.
No, he didn't even leave a Band-Aid. Absolutely merciless.
Yeah, Bambi's dead, guys.
Heartbreak. Did you watch Bambi?
Yeah, of course I did, dude.
Who didn't?
Come on. I was as devastated as every other child. Oh my goodness. Some Disney movies just really...
Some Disney movies are really dark.
They gave you the real hard truths about life, you know? This wasn't a great time as this wolf is going to go down. And Bono, I don't even know why you bothered to throw the axe there. We've seen this do-si-do so many times. But the Gromp is not actually going to be taken here as Thal going on top of Kiin. Infernal Chain's going to bring him back, and Kiin kind of wishing they didn't because wasted a bit of value from the Q.
So far the game is extremely slow to start off, although Dread
there we go.
utilizing that ward one last time.
And this red buff is actually still available, top side of the map. Not sure whether Bono's going to show himself here in mid, as Dread does know that this Brambleback is available.
Do you believe that they just
needs
saw
to pull it into the brush.
Oh man. Urgot now coming down here. Will he get the smite? Oh, really close.
All right, Dread actually didn't know that he was here. Level advantage for Bono. The undertows are going to land. Blast Cone's going to have to be utilized, and he's going to get out the other side. Oh, did they actually know where he's going? He's on walkabout, and these buffs. Oh,
what?
No. Oh, that feels bad, man.
That was absolutely dreadful pathing.
Huh. See what you did there.
Really tempted me to walk off the desk. That's what. No? Not feeling that? All right. You know what Tempt is feeling, though? Double buffs in mid lane.
Puns are not the key to my heart, my friend. I'm sorry.
I'll let Freak know.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen now in mid lane, though.
It's actually not true. Puns are the sole reason I'm keen for this series.
Oh, man. All right. That's absolutely terrible.
I know. I know.
Really got into my soul with that one.
I know. Please don't shoot me into the sun. Okay, we're going to see this one again. None of us want to, but we're going to have to.
Yeah, so Dread ends up getting the red here, and I honestly thought he would try to go over into the golems and then do a loop-de-loop around trying to utilize his flash to get away. Instead, ended up donating double buffs to Tempt right there.
And I think he actually just didn't know that Tempt was coming back from base. Maybe that wasn't communicated to him, something like that, but certainly was a bad news story. 500 gold is the only lead that has been picked up here from Hanwha. Based on that, though, so things okay, especially when we look at these lanes and consider that Afreeca Freecs are going to lose priority in top and mid. Bono going to get chained up. No Ragnarok available just yet, but level 6 has been hit by Tempt, and he's stealing away popcorn chickens left, right, and center. Going to be helping Dread take down his Raptor camp, and Dread not really wanting too much help here. No turret plates to be taken anywhere just yet, but we're still very early into this game.
Syndra is so oppressive.
Yeah, if she gets a lead, this is the thing. It's just so hard.
Ended up missing 2 CS right there, and actually recalling despite being full mana and full HP with double buffs. Really surprising decision.
Yeah, goes home, grabs himself some Merc Treads. Understands that there's a bit of a target on his back, so I get that. Wanting to vacate the lane just a little bit. Knows that the Lee Sin has been hanging around the area quite a lot as Kiin going aggressive here onto Thal. Lands all of his Qs, but you can see the disdain just works so well. Kiin has to trade ultimates here, as you generally would, but Bono is predatoring forward. Flash may have to be used here from Kiin, but he's not going to be able to. And that's just an easy kill picked up by Hanwha.
And that was a really cookie-cutter kill. It was extremely simple. Kiin doesn't have teleport. He's going to lose a lot of value up here in top lane. And when Urgot gets a lead in this matchup, it's almost near impossible to recover as the Aatrox. You can see here.
Also, if any priority is gained like that, all of this sort of huge advantage that is put towards the Rift is Bono's able to go into the jungle anytime, right? He knows that he has skirmishing advantage over the Lee Sin, and so it's definitely going to be an issue. So, Sun, he's going to get ulted in the mid lane, and Tempt is just continuing to be oppressive. Dread, that was a big whoop.
Let's take another quick look at this, and Kiin handshaking everything, not using his flash. He ends up getting R'd, uses the World Ender, but it just doesn't matter as Bono's here as well, and at this point you can't really escape, so just tries to get some CS while he can.
Yeah, I think that was just a teleport that came in from Thal, and Kiin just thought that he'd be able to handle it, but he couldn't. Big shove does come down here as Thal is going to be a little bit behind in farm, but picks up this wave and will even things out once again. Shotgun legs helping out very much. As Kiin grabs himself the Rift Scuttler and a control ward, but it's damage control time here for the Afreeca Freecs. Advantage bottom side. The Sivir that we've seen picked into the Ezreal a lot actually is working out much better than we've otherwise seen. Oftentimes it's Ezreals that are piloted by different players that can really roll over the top of the Sivir matchup. But a lot of people otherwise happy to pick up the Sivir into this.
Oh
God.
Yeah,
So
lots of damage.
You don't just stand and take that to the face though. It needs to start being respected.
LeBlanc is an entire level behind. Look at the XP bar at the bottom left. Tempt is already level 8. He's been 8 for a while. That is not what you want to have happening in mid lane. And right now the call for Urgot, it's already 41 deep. Everything is going quite poorly here for Afreeca in game number 2.
Yeah, it's a bit of a disaster. I feel like the game plan was so perfect for game number 1, but now Dread's going to find Bono. No ultimate necessary, but he does take a lot of damage here after he gets smoked. Tempt, I don't know what we're going to do about you, my friend. Afreeca Freecs, we'll have to ask them to see whether they have any answers to this Syndra in the mid lane. Because when a Syndra can just stand there and be this sort of pillar of strength, that's when you understand why people are picking this champion. And right now, 20 CS ahead, like you say, an entire level above the LeBlanc. And remember, this was a first pick LeBlanc as well. He's going to come on over. This Ocean Drake is going to do a lot of damage to Dread, and Hanwha Life are going to say thanks. And they're going to be able to pick this one up themselves. Boomerang, not enough. Does a bit of damage to Bono, but that's about it.
Dread leashing for the enemy team. What a sportsman-like player.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely fantastic here.
I'm actually not sure which team he's playing for right now. As first double buffs get donated over to Tempt, and then the Dragon gets half of its health bar removed so that Hanwha can pick it up.
And you have to ask yourself, why is that even a priority? You have a LeBlanc that is never going to utilize the Ocean. You have an Aatrox that doesn't have mana. You yourself on Lee Sin don't have mana. Not really quite sure why that would be a higher priority than just simply farming your own jungle camps.
Yeah, it's a perplexing decision to be made, of course, but Dread just trying to get what he can on this map that is falling away from him. Dark Sphere now fully evolved, as is Syndra's passive, and Sun needs to be very careful with getting hit by anything. There's now Tempt waiting behind, and if he does get the stun like Hiss, he's going to just flash forward. And that's a very dead LeBlanc. I would yell and scream about that, but if you get hit by the stun, you're dead in this scenario.
And this game is going from bad to worse here for Afreeca. Thal pretending that he's disconnected.
Nah, I think it's a vision.
Wait, what?
Visual bug? That was a strange one.
I think that he's, what's his name, from Guardians of the Galaxy. If you stand really still, you can't see him.
Ah, Tahm.
He mastered that. No, Draxus or something. Do you know what
Really?
I'm talking about? When he's in the ship and he's just standing really still eating the chips?
I didn't know. I don't remember that. I've seen that movie multiple times.
Absolutely uncultured.
Oh
That's
my God.
how you are.
Yeah, says Mr. No Blade Runner. Yeah, fair enough. Uncultured. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Well, at this point, 2K gold lead here for Hanwha Life. Just under it, actually. Key's going to make his way, share the cannon right there. That'll bring it. Yeah, there it is.
But I mean, the problem with this being a 2K gold lead is the kind of gold lead that we talk about being a little bit different. It's worth more gold than it otherwise is. As here might be the kill down towards the bottom side. Passive needs to be stacked up again. Grey Health goes. That's a kill.
Whoa.
In the 2v2 as Sangyoon almost gets boomeranged to death as well. Afreeca Freecs, this is the only part of the map that looks good for them. And they're able to actually grab a kill as Sun. He has to try and get out, has the Mimic Distortion available as well. Almost takes 2 undertows, but doesn't. But we've got turret plates still left available.
Yeah, they're definitely getting some advantages inside of this lane. And, you know, the bottom lane's the only one that, as you just said, it's not really faltering compared to the top and mid lane. So if you're looking for a saving grace, this would be it. Mountain Drake coming up in 2.5 minutes here. Both teams obviously want to have that for capturing the Baron, shredding the turrets and whatnot, but Afreeca handshakes this, and this is the stuff that always perplexes me.
Oh, that's high value from Senan. Really nice Braum play coming in from this guy. The new rookie for the Afreeca Freecs as Sangyoon almost gets another auto attack and a couple of boomerang ticks, and that could have been almost a dead Ezreal, as that's another stun landing onto Sun, but thankfully this time he can distort away in time because he has the Merc Treads. That means that it's not instant death from the Syndra. She had ultimate available, but no flash ignite to come in or anything like that from Tempt. Oh no, feels bad. Has to spin it there as, okay, special delivery on the crab. He comes on over. And Hanwha Life still certainly in the driver's seat this game, but this bottom lane is a real scary proposition. Turret plates, one being taken in mid, one being taken in top for Hanwha Life Esports. None on the bottom side of the map, but there's 2 that have gone into the hands of Sol on this Sivir. Sun, okay, will land the chain. Ragnarok does come off. That means that the Afreeca Freecs with some respite for the next little while as that one comes back off cooldown as Dread. Okay, this could be his opportunity to start playing some aggressive League of Legends. Rift Herald was taken, as you can hear from Bono. But he wanted to use it a little bit further ago. And Thal might get dove underneath this turret. This is the set piece play for an Aatrox lane. Now Thal trying to get on out. World Ender immediately used for the extra damage. The mini stun from the kick against the wall, and Kiin doesn't even die or get taken down to the passive. Really nice proactive play from the Afreeca Freecs to try and get back into this game.
Yeah, and they get it in the lane where a lot of pressure relief is necessary, as Urgot does not have teleport available. He ended up selecting heal. And now Olaf, yeah, summoning the Rift Herald in mid lane. But Afreeca will be the ones to pick up first turret. I don't know what the first turret stat is here for these two teams.
That's true, but if we were casting our last game, that would have been an instant win, unless we're talking about games number 2 and 3, which SKT got both of the turrets, but
Sun is
didn't win the game.
definitely not a dominatrix. These chains,
No.
they don't hit.
No, not so much. Safe word is coming out too often here. I think the chain's just going to be relinquished. I feel like now that the Lissandra is off the board, Sun is certainly not looking like the mid laner that should be replacing someone like you, Cal, but this is some pretty easy stuff.
Yeah.
There's Thal, nowhere he can go.
I don't even know why he actually flashed there at the end. That was really bizarre. There's no universe in which he's actually surviving that.
Yeah, and the World Ender was already there, right?
Yeah.
And he was already tanking the turret, so yeah, you're exactly right. Absolutely no way. Flashing underneath the same turret that you're trying to fight around is going to be helping. Outer turret does fall in the mid lane thanks to Shelly. And Tempt, with Soul Vision available, is looking for more, as that's a distortion you didn't want to take. But the flash forward.
Oh!
Sun's ignited. Oh, safeguard. Is it going to be enough? Oh, one more tick. No!
Oh,
Sun survives. True shot barrage is going to hit the Mimic diversion. But the Deceiver has deceived this time. Oh my goodness. Greencast is losing their minds completely.
I could feel Dread yelling at his mid laner, get over here.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Ended up giving the safeguard. Tempt feeling absolutely violated not getting that kill just now.
Yeah, well, we're going to have a bit of a lane swap here, as Kiin says, well, if Tempt is strong and his ultimate's on cooldown, I'm happy to just wave clear against him. Has now got the transition from the Aatrox. Key's moving on down, but this could be a tower just taken. Bottom side of the map will even things out against the run of play and will unlock SSol from the bottom lane. Kiin moves back mid. Has to be careful of Tempt, as SSUN just wants to get as much farm as he possibly can, but this is a welfare LeBlanc, and this is not the kind of LeBlancs that we're used to seeing, as that was just heartbreaking. Watching him miss that cannon creep.
Now at this point, Infernal gonna be the next dragon coming up here. Not quite sure when. We just know that it's the next dragon.
Yep.
Thanks to the notification.
Thank you very much for showing us the info. I'm excited.
But obviously, if Syndra gets a hold of that, it's very painful for her one combo. It really helps her just do what she's trying to.
Yeah, and Syndra's extremely linear, right? She can either kill you or she can't. And if you get an Infernal Drake, that line becomes much harder to reach if you're trying to withstand that damage. So I think you're exactly right. I think Afreeca Freecs will need to fight around this one, but they'll have Sol, who will be relatively accelerated. He's gone back. He's looking for his Zeal item of choice as he comes back home again. He's got some crit available with the Essence Reaver already completed. But as far as clearing waves in the mid lane, certainly that's something that Sol's going to be able to do, and he's going to be too scared of Syndra's throwing out damage, and certainly isn't scared of this bottom lane duo that he's met.
Minute and 30 seconds until the next Baron ends up coming up, and Sivir still scaling. LeBlanc still looking to try to get back into the game. Only has one core item, still ways away from her second. Hey, Aatrox not quite yet at the 40% CDR mark.
Looks like that True Shot Barrage would have hit if it was some of our other Ezreal players that are not going to land there onto Sol. Didn't even need to be spell shielded or anything like that.
Look at how fascinating the bounty is on Ezreal. Yeah, down in CS, down a kill.
Yeah, global gold's a pretty cool thing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's based on how incredibly far behind Sun is. Because remember that calculation is this weird thing about 4 members of the enemy team and an average and all this weird stuff. That's why he just happens to have a 500 gold bounty, and the Sivir that he's losing lane to only has a 451 that only just cropped up now.
What just happened to it?
What? Oh, no, lost again. As time goes by, you know, those averages and the numbers. I mean, there's a whole...
You can lose a bounty?
Yeah, of course. If the gold, especially if it's a, like,
Educate me.
If there's like a farm bounty, right? If the total gold of your opponent extends further than yours a little bit more, it is going to go down. Much like it can go up, you know, as, you know, the game goes on and you have more of a gold lead. Think of bounties not about, like, it's not he's on a killing spree and therefore I get more gold from him. I killed the legendary guy, therefore I get more gold. It's more about that guy has more gold than me. If I kill him, I get more gold for me.
Yeah, I mean, I am a content creator, caster, coach, connoisseur.
Yeah.
Thank you for educating me on the bounties.
Well, now I know what's going to happen in the next patch rundown. You know, you're going to be able to tell people about bounties. So I'm ready. I'm ready for that as a connoisseur of the patch rundown.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there we go. I'm just trying to get my own 2 cents in there.
Definitely be sure to give you a shout out.
Yeah, thanks, man. Especially if you explain bounty mechanics. And you can say, well, Atlas said this. In fact, it's all wrong.
Well,
okay, Infernal is just being considered by Hanwha Life, and I think they might be able to just take it for free because Tempt is here. Bono pulls it out of the pit, and Sun is around, but I'm not even entirely sure whether he counts as a full champion right now. Could be a 50-50 scenario, but it's the resulting fight that can be the problem. Hanwha have been relatively routed. True Shot Barrage lands the bottom lane. One going to get stunned, but Sol with the on the hunt. Not going to be, as Afreeca Freecs. They jumped onto the dragon. They want to be able to steal it. They get it. Dread safeguards out. Just stealing it on the noses of Hanwha Life Esports.
And that's a really big victory for them right there, as it looked like it was almost surefire, or a surety that Syndra and Ezreal were just going to get access to that Infernal. And then they're rolling like absolute gods right now, as Ocean Drake will be the next dragon to spawn.
Yeah, and Afreeca are going to be really happy about that because they just don't know how many more of these team fights they can win as the game goes on. The mid game is certainly the realm of the Syndra that's 2-0. But SSol, he's gone back. He's got a rapid fire cannon for that little bit of extra range. We're building towards our Infinity Edge. This is a scary time to be Hanwha Life Esports because this game felt in the bag until this one moment. And to get in and get out like that, look at all of the buttons that they synchronize. SSol waits around, gives Dread a way out, and Bono says, where'd the Lee Sin go? Where'd me dragon go?
Oh, what does that say?
Kiin!
Kiin, it does say Kiin, yes.
Yeah, I can read.
Nice.
Kind of. If it's just what it sounds like, I can read. I can't tell you what things mean.
All right.
But I can read the sounds.
Nice.
That's the... I'm going back to school, actually. Well, I mean,
Korean?
By back to school, I mean I'm going to go to school for the first time.
Oh, you were about to pull like a Adam Sandler.
Ooh, a bit of Billy Madison.
Billy Madison.
I love it.
That was a good show.
Yeah, that was back when Adam Sandler movies were good.
Yeah.
That Happy Gilmore, so good. Little Nicky,
excellent.
That's the good stuff. Things started to go downhill after that.
Yes, it did.
Pretty rapidly, actually. It's kind of like falling off a cliff. We've got a back coming in here as Sun's going to turn up towards the top side. He doesn't want to meet Tempt at all. And that's the Olaf going back home. See where he's going to head next. As Tempt is happy just to wait in brushes. And Dread breaks himself a Banshee's Veil. Nailed it. There we go. That's good.
He's playing with fire right now.
Yeah, he gets stunned. There's the flash forward. And I think he's just dead. As, okay. Oh, there we are. Last tick. That's going to do it. Tempt takes a little bit of damage back. And Bono is clearing out vision around the Baron. Could this just mean they can take it? They do have an Ocean Drake for the sustain and a Mountain Drake to kill it faster.
I'm glad I knew that, but he didn't seem to know that you don't poke the bear with his Syndra. You know what I just went through my head? It was the gif of like Cell smacking Hercule. That's what.
Well, Sun gonna die. Oh my god, he didn't even pop the World Ender! And Kiin is just dead. The Urgot is gonna tank up so much and then go golden, but the Baron at 23 minutes is hurting. It is gonna go over to Hanwha as there's an extra smite for the team, and the Sivir did a lot of damage, but then fell down on her face. And now Hanwha Life Esports are gonna look to bring us to a game number 3.
Well, I don't see a way that Afreeca can actually come back against this. Look at the level discrepancy between some of the champions in this game right after this replay. Take a look at this. Tempt is basically saying, I'm going to clear this ward, but if you would like to make a donation, I will generously accept. As Dread over there, he smashes the ground. He's like, I'll show you next time.
He's like, I'm going to put everything on cooldown. Didn't really do anything.
He looks so angry. And then right here, Kiin doesn't even get a chance to press R and bring out the World Ender.
He just dies.
Yeah. And you can see that Sun, he's out of mana. And then interestingly enough, SSol actually walked in to get stunned. As Hanwha Life, they just get the Baron, and it does certainly look like we are well positioned to go to a game number 3.
Well, Chain is going to land, but it's on an Ezreal in the belly of a Tahm Kench.
How does that happen?
Well, it does damage, but it doesn't actually get the CC. Because tethers are really strange in League of Legends. Tethers are real strange. Just like Sangyoon Pool doesn't get you out of a Soul Shackle, things like that.
It's really weird.
Yeah. Well, Bono also doesn't need to pop the Ragnarok because he runs pretty damn fast, and Sun takes about a bajillion damage from one Undertow from a relatively tanky Olaf. That's in the cons column.
Right now, minute and 50 seconds remaining for Hanwha Life. And again, I mentioned earlier the level discrepancy. It's 1 in the ADCs, 1 in mid lane, or 2 in mid lane. Probably quite soon, I assume, as Tempt is nearing level 16, and jungle relatively same, but top 1 level difference.
Yep, ultimate is going to land in there, but SSol still able to get a lot of damage across. Tower falls, but Thal will be sacrificing a lot of his health bar. Tempt gets a nice stun onto Sun, but this is Hanwha just trying to take all of the structures that they can and extend this gold lead even further. 8,000 is the number right now as Q is going to land onto Tempt, but he's a raid boss. Straight up, he is extraordinarily terrifying. basically a walking orbital nuke.
Yep. He is able to just go anywhere, press R on multiple targets as no one has any magic resistance. As meanwhile, just north, Sangyoon taking down an Ocean Drake.
Yep, by himself. True Shot Barrage is going to soften the members of the Afreeca Freecs, and by that I mean take away 50% of their health bar. That's an AoE super fang for our Pokemon fans out there.
Alice, do you watch the other regions often?
When I can, but there's a lot of LCK to watch.
Yeah, there is.
So it's hard to keep up entirely. Yeah. Why do you ask?
Well, I'm curious because the Baron power plays, when they tend to happen in Korea between 23 and 28 minutes, they only tend to raise the outer tier 2 turrets. But I'm pondering that maybe in other regions it results in the loss of a Nexus.
Yeah.
Am I right, or?
Yeah, often Baron gets taken and teams lose. That's generally what happens. One way or the other.
Trying to imagine how. Because it seems so easy to actually defend against just simply 1.5, 2 core item champions.
Well, you see, the thing that happens, right?
Stay with it. Yeah. Break it down for me.
Yeah, I'll give you this sweet play-by-play analysis.
Okay.
The thing that can happen in these plays is that when said teams are trying to defend, they don't know when to stop defending. And therefore, they keep 4 members of their team underneath an inner turret that has about 12 health.
Okay.
That 12 health of that turret, get this, is taken by the opposition.
I would have never guessed.
And then that Wombo team fight happens. 4 people die. 1 person on the top side of the map takes an outer turret. And then the game's over. And I don't want to spoil the ending for you, but it's not the one guy that took the turret top side of the map that is the one that does it.
All right. Well.
That's an example. That's an example of something that can go wrong.
All right. Well,
and not from any region.
Thank you for breaking that down for me.
I've seen this happen in the LCK as well. Just not recently. I feel like the LCK has leveled up. It was a bit of a meme at the beginning of the year, but since then, I feel like the quality of games, especially today, has been fantastic. Much better than
the Dom
games that we've seen in the past. Yeah.
SKT series was
quite
good. It was actually...
Sol's getting so annoyed at Senan, who keeps unbreakabling all of his free mana that keeps flying towards him. As Bono, yeah, you got to start respecting this Sivir damage, actually. Okay, Sun's going to land some chains, wants to get himself a Ragnarok, and does so.
Actually get the Olaf ult out of him. I guess it is a relatively short cooldown, so it's not the end of the world.
Well, no Baron now available. And the gold lead is, of course, ridiculous for Hanwha Life Esports. They have a hell of a lot of damage availability. Sangyoon not going to need any peel for himself. Stacking up his Seraph's Embrace right now. But there is a Sivir. And the Sivir does have an Infinity Edge.
That is true.
And Hanwha Life don't have the most massive amount of range. And Kiin in the last teamfight didn't do any damage, and maybe in the next teamfight he will. We may not have seen the last of the Afreeca Freecs, and we certainly haven't if Hanwha win, because we are going to a game number 3. However, this game, it is certainly going further away from Afreeca than most critics would say is redeemable. Still, part of me wants to believe that there is comeback potential.
Well, if they're going to find a way to win this, they're about 150 CS away from it on Sivir. So, quite a few more minion waves are waiting for us. And Hanwha Life,
for the 500 win condition that you talk about all the time.
Do I talk about it?
Well, I think everyone does. There's 500 CS Sivir win condition. It's a bit of a thing.
All right.
Still
I like it.
Not quite there just yet. His son, he's very good at jumping over walls. Give him Lissandra or LeBlanc, and give him as much of a deficit as you like. And he will be going over them walls. That's True Shot Barrage. And the Baron has just spawned. 50 seconds, Infernal Drake will be available. And that will get us to a very fast Elder Dragon as well. You have to remember, Afreeca did manage to steal away that Infernal, and that's actually starting to be a problem for Hanwha, because they haven't even got one just yet. So that Infernal will be helping make up a lot of that gold gap, as it is 31 minutes into the game, and items are starting to be substantial on this squad. A face check into this brush, though, could just mean the end of the game, so let's hold on as Kiin. Okay.
They're trying to just restrict the vision endlessly here around this Baron, and it's a very rough situation to be in, as your front line essentially is just an Aatrox, and your team composition has been reduced to relying on the insurance policy that we talked about in the pick ban. They have to be so careful.
Oh, man. I mean, Sol with the... Oh, no.
Where's the spell shield?
I know. The thing is, Senan wasn't there. It's okay. Thal could be in trouble. Gets tagged up by a couple of shots there as Bono's going to come on in. This might make Afreeca think that the Baron hasn't been started, but as we can see, it actually has.
Yeah. Although Sangyoon jumps to... Oh.
Yeah, they're looking for Kiin. He goes golden. World Ender is still going to be available. He will be able to buy a lot of time. And actually, now they've got another chance of going for one of these fights. A lot of the Hanwha buttons are on cooldown now, and no joy in any of the picks. Flash now down from the Aatrox. His son is going to curve his way in. Able to go back to his original distortion. Will be okay. Blue buff going to spawn.
What? He went really far up. He was really close to getting hit by a Syndra right there, and that could have been the end of it. And right now, Infernal Drake's actually up, but no one seems to be wanting to do that. And, oh, I saw this before. Can Dread be a hero? One more time. Doesn't look like it. I think he's too far away.
Yeah, that's going to be a very early smite, but not going to be able to get into the pit. A lot of value here with the first few boomerangs as Sol has to be careful. True Shot Barrage would have meant the end of him, but Thal's going to be able to take down the Braum. Not a lot of peel now available as Aatrox in the backline, but double flashes come on through. Dread secures the kill on the Ezreal, however, and Sun is still alive. Kiin, a massive health bar, and the Syndra is in the death chamber. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, but Redemption's going to give health back over to the Afreeca Freecs. Kiin is going to die, but they want to get rid of some of these Barons. It looks like 3 will still be alive as Dread. He's just backing on a...
He's backing on a blue trinket. I'm not...
reckless swing kills.
Just have a moment of silence for that, Atlas.
Does it deserve?
All right, well, coming back into... Yeah, let's take another quick look. So the Baron went down immediately. Sun actually did a fantastic job. He did his role. He got in there on the Syndra and managed to escape. You can see Kiin comes over the wall on the World Ender. Dread managed
I don't know how he snuck that Q in there.
He snuck the kill in onto Lee Sin, and they could have actually escaped if they all just went different directions. And that ultimately would have been a pretty big win for Afreeca. But instead...
into the disdain.
Yeah, they tried to save everyone, and they all end up going down in the house fire together.
Yep. Well, speaking of house fires, they pick up the dragon version of one for Hanwha Life. That is going to even out the Drakes for both teams.
You know, on a plane, you're told to put on your oxygen mask before assisting another?
Yeah.
Well, Hanwha Life just tried to do both at the same time, so... Or Afreeca did.
You don't have enough hands for that.
Yep, don't have enough hands.
Yeah. Unless you're not a human. In which case you might have enough hands. You know, we're talking about sci-fi movies and stuff like that. You know, if you're an alien, you might have more than one hand. More than 2 hands, sorry.
How many hands would you like to have?
2's fine.
What if you're like Goro from Mortal Kombat?
I feel like
Speaking of Mortal Kombat and Tekken and stuff, Negan is in one of the games.
He's in Tekken, dude. It's super cool. That was announced at Evo Japan earlier on.
And Walking Dead new episode tonight.
Yeah, well,
extremely excited.
You can't be giving away anything to anyone. I've already told you not to spoil it for me because I still haven't started Season 9 just yet. But yes, very excited to see some more Negan action. There's Sangyoon double boomeranged into the backline, and that means that combo could actually stop this Baron from doing anything. Unless Thal can get something done on the top side of the map, but he'll have to back away because the rest of Afreeca Freecs are able to move on back. And Sangyoon's got teleport, but he has to waste a lot of time heading back home and heading back in. Okay, can this damage control actually work?
I think they held off the Baron yet again. 75 CS until Sivir's at 500.
Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. The 500 golds, the 500 CS, Sivir win condition, and these are Baron minions that are getting torn apart by the Sivir, but the tower falls topside. The Urgot is very strong, and Afreeca don't have a lot of ways to clear out these waves.
15 seconds.
All right, 10 seconds to go.
They don't have a wave.
And as soon as this 10 seconds is up, Sivir kills a minion wave in one combo. As on the hunt, they're looking for Thal. He's got a GA, but will he actually have his life right now? As they're going to break the base on the bottom side, it's going to be an Urgot in trade for it. But this might just be the end of the game. They do kill Thal. Yes, congratulations, you get that. But trading Thal for a Nexus? That is a bad trade as Sol's going to move on over.
Oh,
Spell Shield now up. Can they get an ace? As Kiin's over the side, it needs to be an ace. If they're going to get anything from this, the death timers are very big. Both Nexus turrets and an inhibitor for 3 kills.
And now there is an open Nexus and an inhibitor just went down. That's one of the most painful things in the world to deal with. But Ezreal's teleport isn't available, so it's just an Urgot who's not
alive.
The best, and nor alive. He's not alive. That is true. Thank you.
Thanks. Play-by-play analysis. I'm fucking popping off today, my friend. As I apologize. That's actually the first time I've ever said that on broadcast. So put me in the club with the fish now. As Crucial Barrage did a lot of damage here in this particular fight. Hanwha Life are going to take almost a Nexus in trade for Thal's health bar. Still not sure whether this works.
Well, the trade ends up actually being advantageous in a way for Afreeca. They get a lot of breathing room off of this, and as long as they juggle the bottom lane effectively, Hanwha Life doesn't currently have the tools in their possession to stop Afreeca from having a straight-up fair fight now at the Baron. Sivir is almost full items, about 47 CS away, 44 now. Clock keeps ticking down.
And they're looking to try and shove this one forward. Kiin is going to meet Thal. That actually could be a big deal as Infernal Chain's not going to move back. So Sol has to be playing this far up because he's basically all of the damage. For this Afreeca squad, Kiin clearing out vision where he can. And look, the super creeps moving down the bottom side of the map. Hanwha Life know that they have this Afreeca squad on a timer. Chain is going to come in there but doesn't get the stun. Importantly here, onto Thal.
LeBlanc just doesn't deal any damage, and Afreeca, they're posturing for something that they can't really do, although Sun,
yeah,
can he get onto Sangyoon?
Get onto the flank here. He does have a GA, so he's going to have an extra life available to him. They've got 2 GAs still available as that boomerang. Needs to be respected. Sun lands the chain in the backline onto Sangyoon. Sangyoon is still pretty durable, and he's going to be able to lifesteal that one back up. Has a Gunblade.
In Afreeca, they're managing the bottom wave. Oh no, we've seen this before. If Afreeca can actually trade Elder Dragon for Baron, they can ignore the Baron minions and say, you know what, we're just going to take one final team fight. And honestly,
they need to do it. They need to get in there. Abyssal Voyage is available here from Senan. If they're caught taking this Infernal Drake, that is a huge deal, and Dread's going to miss the Q.
Do the dragon.
Onto the Dragon.
Just do the Dragon. What are you doing?
No. Look at this. Hanwha Life, they've already done it. They've moved into this open Nexus. It's Kiin that's trying to get the work done. The Devour has to be used onto the Olaf, and now Sol going to be able to get into this pit. Bono almost down to his GA's. Tempt takes down the Braum, but there's still a lot of life in this Afreeca squad. Tempt is gone. He's dead. Now Bono trying to run away. He's running for the hills as Sangyoon's at full health. He's the last one available. Cue the yakety sax. This game ain't over yet.
This game is not over by any means. Tempt he hit Afreeca with a little bit of a love shot right before he went down as he took a member with him, and now everyone running to the Elder Dragon. Kiin, he's able to heal.
They have to know that there is so much vision available around here because they were just there. Kiin and Sol, they're going to jump on in there. This might actually be it's going to be taken by Bono. The flash has to be used after the Devour to get on out of there as now Sun knocked back in. Sol's going to go down triple for Sangyoon. See you later, Afreeca Freecs, and we're going to game 3.
That is definitely going to be a game 3. There's no way that Dread and Senan should be able to defend against this. And the death timers are going to be way too high. Not sure if Urgot has teleport available to him, but...
And this is a 4 Drake Elder as well. This is 3 auto attacks from this Ezreal, and this Nexus is going down. The death timers are too long. It was heroic from Sol, but it is not enough. And the Afreeca Freecs will have to get another win against Hanwha Life. And Hanwha wanting to repeat history and take down Afreeca one more time in the spring season.
And they almost did it though. Afreeca almost managed to get that Elder Dragon. There was no smite available on Olaf. Had they clipped it and had the focus been a little bit more on point, we might still be in the game right now. But Hanwha, they lane kingdom in top and mid lane that game. Tempt with an impressive performance as well. So Gonna really give them credit. Bottom lane, though, for Afreeca, they were really coming through in this game, and they kept them alive, they kept them afloat, and even though the team composition didn't get to do what it wanted, they got the insurance policy online.
They did. It was absolutely beautiful, actually. Out of Hanwha by the end of that game, I felt like what they did was played around a mid lane that was ridiculously far ahead, extraordinarily well.
Right.
It wasn't until very late in that game that the Syndra took her first death, and every other time that we've seen a Syndra attempted here in the LCK, she gets punished for a lack of mobility in the earlier stages of the game. But this time, Dread donates double buffs in the early game, and it felt like that was all she wrote at that point in time. Yeah. And I mean, yes, there were opportunities where things could have gone wrong, opportunities for steals and things like that that we did see. But they didn't happen this time. Dread was unable to get into the pit, and I think now I'm calling for Ukal to make his way back because Sun looked like he was absent from the game.
Yeah, Sun did really look completely absent. He wasn't doing any damage on that LeBlanc. I mean, he had a few clutch engages.
So cute.
That is baby Sangyoon.
Aww. Sangyoon's parents are always here as well. Every Hanwha game, it's always Sangyoon's parents. I hope we get Sangyoon MVP from this game as well. And if Hanwha Life actually win, then we're going to see even more of Sangyoon, and he can show us all of that charisma that he's demonstrated. Hanwha, still one final test though, and we're going to be moving towards a short commercial break before we get to what could be a very spicy game number 3. First, let's have a look at all the damage that was done by the Sivir, and look at that.
The Syndra didn't actually do all that much, but
every time she did damage,
every time she
died.
did, it mattered.
Yeah.
That's what the important part of the Syndra was that game, and so
you have to look at this 18k damage as full LeBlanc health bars.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what makes up the
Red made a donation once.
Yes,
when
that's
he smacked
true.
The ground?
He did.
Sell Hercule. That was the most beautiful reenactment I've ever seen.
And we might get to see it again because we've got game number 3 coming up just after the break, guys. Don't go anywhere. Oh my goodness, man. All right, well, now, don't go anywhere.